It's too early for this. Hey guys, I'm Cooper.
And I'm Malaysia.
And you're watching the Snooze.
Broadcast for the student by the student.
Now let's get into some Snooze news. Tuesday afternoon, President Trump was in a feud with top Democratic leaders Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. President Trump stated that he would be proud to shut down the government over border security, but the meeting soon turned contentious as Ms. Pelosi and Mr. Schumer argued that legislation to keep the government open could pass. The argument has caused further tensions concerning border control and intensified the division on the matter.
Tuesday, December 11, a gunman opened fire in the Catholic Cathedral near Brazil's most populated city, Sao Paulo, killing 5 people and wounding 7 others. The motive for the attack is not yet clear. Neither the gunman nor his victims has been identified.
Now let's get into some local news.
Ole Miss has hired a new defensive coordinator. Former Colorado head coach Mike McIntyre will replace the recently fired Wesley McGriff.
McIntyre has signed a 3-year contract, which will set to expire in 2022.
Also, OHS Theater is putting on It's a Wonderful Life tonight and tomorrow at the Caleb Miles Auditorium at Oxford Middle School. The doors open at 7 and the play begins at 7:30.
In other news, an Olive Branch woman was sentenced to 20 years in prison for child abuse last Friday, December 7th.
Haley McConnell was arrested in August of 2017 after she shook a 6-month-old so severely that the child had to be taken to LeBunner Children's Hospital.
This week, the Snooze focused on the new Christmas lights on the square. Let's take a look.
For years, I have seen pictures that people post during the holiday season, or when I've looked at historical accounts of things in Oxford, and I saw that they had these lights that were a canopy over the square. And so many folks who were older and were children at that time told me, they said, you know, one of the best memories that I have of my childhood is the downtown square at Christmas time and the way that the lights were.
I'm 82 years old, so I've been around here, seen a lot of things happen. First time I remember the lights was right after the Second World War. That'd be the late 40s when they were up, and they were quite impressive.
On the square, and it was so magical and beautiful with a canopy of colored lights that were almost tent-like, you know, just above the city from the courthouse. I don't know when they did that. We have lived here most of our lives. I don't really remember when they did that, but it was never the same.
Even though it's gorgeous now.
It is, and each store around the square decorates for it. To me, the lights just make Christmas.
Well, I don't know that anything feels more Christmassy than just a whole bunch of lights, but I think that, you know, a lot of people have said, well, you leave them up all year. And I said, no, then they won't be special, you know, during the holidays. And I think that just this canopy of lights just kind of sets a magical kind of feeling in the downtown area.
And of course, it added to the ambience of the town, the square, where all the businesses were. There weren't any shopping centers. That's where everybody was down on the square.
And when we grew up, there were the old bulbs, the big colored lights, you know, that stretched from the courthouse outward. And today they're the white lights, which are beautiful as well. We just remember it being the lights with all different colors, but the white lights, it just makes it more magical.
As I say, it was from the commercial side, or maybe for the city's government side, it was a very important event.
You know, there are a whole lot of communities that have town squares, or that have historical buildings, or that have a courthouse in the middle, or, you know, that have the infrastructure that we have. And so what makes Oxford different? In my mind, it's the people. And so let's find ways to celebrate that.
In that period of time, people didn't decorate the yard, town didn't decorate the streets or anything. This was it, really. And so it was a very popular thing that people came up to look at the light.
Well, Oxford's just a beautiful little town. And to put the lights up just enhances the overall beauty of the square.
It just lights it up. I mean, to me, it's magical.
And I very much approve of the city returning to this tradition, and maybe they could put some more up. That's the only difference. I think they had about twice as many before. Came down, and ever since, people have missed them. And particularly, former editor of the Oxford Eagle would have something to say every year. Her name was Nina Goolsby.
Santa Claus was Nana Goolsby. And when we got up to her, Santa Claus, we had no idea she was our neighbor.
And she asked,
And she said, now, have you been a good girl this year? Oh, yes, Santa Claus, we've been good. Knowing that she knew we hadn't been good because she lived next door to us.
Apparently for years, she went around to all the square businesses wearing a Santa suit, trying to get them to sign letters to the mayor and board, and trying to figure out how to get the lights back up, that it was just an Oxford tradition that should never stop. And so we turned the lights on in her honor. She passed away years ago, but we turned the lights on in Miss Nana's honor. We've gotten so many compliments from people about, Oxford has, I think, the most gorgeous downtown area in the state, for sure, if not the South. And it looks like a snow globe, and it's just kind of magical. So it is just an old tradition with a new twist.
I put your name and the amount on the paper.
Name and what?
And how many you think are on the tree?
How many lights do we think is on the tree?
Yeah.
I said 156.
Oh yeah, actually, I'm kind of stupid.
Like every single light, like these three lights.
Oh yeah. Alright, we're gonna put those now. Is 227 greater than 48? What is this? I'm confused.
How many lights? Yeah. Alright, you guys want to guess how many lights are on the tree?
Go, Jason, go.
$50. How many lights are on the tree?
How many lights are on the tree?
Yeah.
Okay, there's one.
Go get it back.
Oh, like individual or like standalone? How many lights are in the box? 2,600.
Yeah, what is it?
2,000?
Here they are.
Yeah.
I'm going 90, boys.
90 lights? Individual lights? Dude, you're stupid.
I swear you're stupid.
75.
You know.
It's probably more than that. 123. Don't tell me. No, don't.
I put 160.
I put 100.
You put 160?
It's 80.
It's 63.
Kessler, I put 100.
What do you think, audience? I think it's 63.
Oh.
I know you lying. He said, let me give him one of my business cards.
This is going out to the whole school, right? Hey y'all, this is my business card. Make sure y'all go follow me on YouTube. So.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this week's episode of The Snooze. I'm Cooper,
And I'm Malaysia.
and we'll see you next time.
I've been holding you for way too long. You're cutting